Hello friend, welcome back. There could be many situations where SelectorsHub might be generating the longer XPath by default and you don't want to use those lengthy XPath. You want to, maybe like you want shorter length XPath. It could have indexes, that is fine for you, but there will be situation where you need the shorter XPath and you don't really like the longer XPath. So yes, definitely you can generate the shorter XPath as well, short length XPath as well with the help of SelectorsHub. For an example, let's say if I go to this e-commerce website and here we try to generate the XPath. I'm showing here in the pro version. You can use the same thing in the free version as well. Everything is there. So let's say if we inspect this element, any element like this one, let's say, okay, so this is generating shorter XPath. It is fine. Let us inspect this. Now you see that here for this image and this SanDisk Ultra, it is generating really long XPath, which we really don't want to use this long XPath, right? So in this case, how can we generate the short length XPath? So one very simple thing and the best thing, which generally like as an human and real-time testers we used to write the XPath, is that relative to other element, which can be more stable relative to like compared to that actual element and might be more stable. So generally we always prefer to write XPath in such kind of situation where there is no unique attribute or something stable attribute. So in that case we prefer to write relative to other. So here in this case what we will do, we will try to generate the XPath for this element relative to this top selling SD cards, and it will be shorter. So that feature is available here in SelectorsHub, both in free and pro version. So you see that access XPath, click on this button and here inspect parent and then inspect child. So here what you do, click on this, select this inspector of SelectorsHub, first inspect this, because with respect to this we want to generate for this, and you see that how small XPath, short length XPath we have generated for this particular element. So this way you can generate the XPath for any element, very small XPath, short length XPath for any element. Like for an example, if we inspect this element, this 3 dot, suppose we want to generate for these 3 dots with respect to some other element. So in that case, let me just first here again come inspect this. Suppose with respect to this profile name, user profile name, we want to generate for these 3 dots. So you can see that we have generated XPath for these 3 dots with respect to this user profile name. So this is how we can generate the shorter XPath as well. And in many situations, suppose you don't want to generate with some other element, right? So in that case, like if you go here and suppose again if I inspect this element here, so you see that one XPath is very long, which you can see that this is very long and you don't want to use. But if you know that this index index for this particular element is going to always stable, so in that case you can use this index based XPath, which is quite a small one and it has been generated with the index, help of index, and it is pretty much good XPath as well, which is not going to change. So you can use this index based XPath as well. This relative XPath which it used to generate, it actually generated based on the attributes of that element, and then it used to follow its parents element to make it unique. But in some situation, because like there is no unique attribute, and that's the reason it used to become very lengthy. So in such situation, either we generate the index based XPath or the axis based XPath relative to some stable element. So this is how you can generate the like short length XPath. Also there could be some situations like let's say for an example here we just inspect, let's say this element, it generate this practice page. Let me just inspect some other thing. There could be like it might generate for some other element where you don't want to like let's say you don't want with that particular attribute. Maybe like I can show you here. It might be generating with some particular class or attribute which you don't want to generate with. Like for an example here it is generating with class attribute, class is equal to this, but you don't but you feel that this is not correct, you want with something else. In that case you have this attribute filter here, click on this and okay, so by default I have entered the class here. I will just delete this for you guys it will be by default empty. So if now we will try to generate this xpath for this particular element, it will generate with the placeholder attribute. So you see that this might looks more stable. But if you want with any particular attribute for that particular element, like you see that there is a type, value is equal to, class is equal to, title is equal to. So if you want, let's say with the title attribute, in that case you can enter title here and just inspect the element again, same, and you see that it has generated xpath with title. So this is how you can generate xpath with any particular attribute as well, if you don't like with the attribute by default it used to generate. So basically, like, there are lots of feature, like you can if it is generating long xpath, then you can go with access based xpath or index based xpath, which will always be very small if you don't prefer the longer xpath. And if you want to generate with any particular attribute, then you can use this attribute filter feature. Either you can pass the attribute name here, or if that shortcut is available for that particular attribute, then in that case you can use this shortcut as well. For more detailed tutorial on this attribute filter feature, you can check out this tutorial here. For access based xpath, how it used to generate, you can also check out this tutorial here. With each and every feature there is a tutorial, so that you can explore. I hope you find this tutorial helpful, and definitely this will help to save a good amount of time as well. Thank you so much. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also check out these awesome informative videos and keep watching more videos on SelectorsHub channel. Thank you.